Hello, Meoni here, and welcome to the live letter breakdown for today, the 1st of September 2018. By breakdown, I truly mean broken down into small digestible chunks, and there'll be no hour-long video here. All pictures, footage, and sources are courtesy of the wonderful translation and the staff over at the Final Fantasy XIV subreddit Discord, which I'll link in the description. Go and support them, they're awesome. With massive thanks in particular to Sheeny Tan, the translator for the Discord's information this time. The 14-hour 5th anniversary broadcast began how all good broadcasts should, with an Amazu cake and a lot of alcohol. During the lineup, which you can watch on the VOD on the official Twitch channel for Final Fantasy XIV, they had the next live letter, part 46. They didn't finish the trailer for the patch in time, so we can't show you that, but they instead show us one of the new bosses in the Omega Alphascape, Chaos, which looks badass. Apparently you can fall off this arena during the fight, and they don't want to give any more spoilers past that for now. They do say a new trailer for the patch should come out this or next week at the latest. We next get a slide from the patch 4.4 Prelude in Violet title. Patch 4.4 will release on the 18th of September, so not that long away at all, featuring new main story, side quests including the Four Lords, a new Hildebrand adventure to follow up in a mini-patch, and the new Doman reconstruction efforts. In addition to that, we get news of The Burn, which is a new dungeon as part of the main storyline, and Saint Mosiani's Arboretum hard mode. Included in this is a new trial with normal and extreme mode called Hell's Keer, in which you fight Suzaku, a giant yellow bird. And of course the new Alphascape normal and extreme raids. Apparently Alphascape will be very intensive on the story this time around, as it will be officially the finale of the Omega storyline. They also list us some of the smaller updates in this patch, including job adjustments and the new unlocked role actions we talked about previously, where you can have all role actions unlocked at once, and some PvP information on the new addition of the Focus Attack Quick Chat option and a PvP specific HUD layout adjustment on the Wolf's Den Pier. Apparently there won't be many job adjustments in this patch, but Black Mages, Red Mages and Samurai in particular are getting buffs this time around. Apparently Passage of Arms will take effect immediately instead of waiting for an animation to play out, and lots of other changes which they'll cover at another date. So now moving on to things that we actually had no idea about. The Lost Canals of Uznair is getting another new dungeon. Additionally, a new information about the third Eureka installment called Pyros is coming to the game in patch 4.45, along with a new logo system and the new Eureka weapons. Apparently Pagos is very much still in the minds of Yoshi and the team, and adjustments are far from over for that setup. The logo system mentioned for Pyros will actually allow jobs to play different roles, i.e. melee DPS acting as a tank, which again they'll talk about at a later time. There are going to be new gathering and crafting updates in this patch, including new recipes, new fishing holes in the Doman Enclave, and a new Zloe Aliapo reward adjustment, whatever that means. The Grand Companies are getting capped in rank for your character, with new squadron updates with new missions, including some to enable the rank of captain. There will now be a Ceremony of Eternal Bonding anniversary system, where you can get new rewards from this ceremony, and you get to relive your wedding days with new packages to buy on the Mog Station. G-Pose is getting updates which lets you do minion actions, walking and running animations, and time and weather changes with new screen effects, which is going to be awesome to play with. I can't wait for that. Pyros weapons will have substat balances that don't intersect with raid weapons apparently, but the sub-parameters will now be able to go beyond maximum inside Eureka only, making obviously decent weapons outside, but even more useful inside Eureka. With this patch we get new tomestones, a change to how you get into Crystal Tower instead of that horrible attunement with Fates. The duty recorder will be usable in more places with new revised features. The unending journey will let you view more cutscenes that were previously unavailable, and now your config data will be stored server-wide, so you don't have to change your UI every time you go onto a new PC. Especially useful then for cafe players. There's also the ability to search for mounts and minions, along with a favourite list to be included in this patch as well. So now they looked at the new trial, this Hell's Kier, which is the Suzaku fight. They showed the intro slightly and the bird itself in a cutscene, and then the arena you fight it on. You can see these feather type items on the floor, which will have a feature in the actual fight, and this circular arena apparently has destructible walls similar to Ravana. It looks really cool and totally looks nothing like Phoenix. Next up, we look at the new Lost Canals dungeon, the Shifting Altars of Uznair. This is gotten into, like many of the others, from a treasure map portal, but the best way to describe this dungeon is a type of roulette wheel. You have these pads around a room with different colours and symbols on them. The wheel will spin and you have to get lucky and not land on a pink Atomos, which will end the game and portal your team out. But the other pads will have other effects, including spawning bosses depending on what it lands on, which includes some that they show, the Chimera, Fenrir, etc. And you also fight monsters, bosses, and if you're lucky, after each monster defeat you can spin again and try to get the top reward, which is the red diamond platform. Apparently this is filled with different monsters and bosses and bonus stages with certain tiles. It looks to be a ton of fun, honestly, and a good time sink. Next up, the FanFest rewards. First, they show off the Cloud Bike, i.e. the SDS Fenrir mount that you get from buying in real life tickets for the Mog Station near to FanFest. This bike is shown off in this clip on Twitch and has the crazy motorcycle theme from Final Fantasy VII as you drive it around, which is the best thing in the universe, isn't it, really? Apparently, it can fly and go underwater. Just to confirm that. Hype. They also show off the 3 minions they talked about from each region of FanFest or from the Mog Station at a later date. Those include the Cloud minion, a Tifa minion, and an Aerith or Ares minion, depending on where you're from. And they all have awesome minion interaction emotes, but they didn't want to show them all off, so we'll have to wait and see. But Tetsuya Nomura gave special directions for these minions, so you can expect them to be pretty predictable and awesome. Next up, housing updates. First, the mannequins. You can store your clothing on these new housing mannequins, which is an RP's dream, isn't it really? Simply interacting with them brings up a similar preview panel with like retainers or squadron members, where you can store items on and you're done. Apparently they are currently open to suggestions for other types of mannequins and poses, but they have ones in several different poses for you to play with currently. Apparently you can buy from the mannequins as well, but it won't affect their appearance, adding a feature to them other than just for looks. But you can turn that feature on or off depending if you even want players to be able to buy from it. You can even alter the mannequin's pose, their sex, the job and race from the new menu on this new mannequin item, and if you choose to sell items on this mannequin, they appear on the market board with a listing of where that item is located, so people can go and visit your house to preview it first in person, which is pretty cool. There's a new housing UI that allows you to change the house appeal settings, which is basically the ability to put up to 3 tags on your house. Those include shop, roleplay, aquarium, restaurant, cafe, event, escape game, stage, museum, etc. Which is a really cool idea, and it means your type of house can easily be found from the ward map and filters on the main map. Next up, the new Gold Saucer Gate. This new event is a jumping puzzle based on Ralga's Reach, and you can talk to the gatekeeper in the Gold Saucer, who will queue you up for this jumping puzzle in an actual instance. Inside, you'll need to jump on the elaborate set of jumping platforms, which give you bonus MGP, and you will get more MGP depending on how far you get through this puzzle during that time limit. Apparently, there are multiple patterns, and it's not always the same layout, which is pretty cool. Next, they took a while to talk about quest design, but since it's not really content heavy, I'm going to actually miss it out for the video, but I would recommend that you go and read this on the Discord in the description of this video if you're interested in how it all works. In short, very complicated. We're near the end of the live letter now, and they show a slide with the corresponding region minion exclusives with the FanFest tickets. Tifa will be available for the American FanFest, Cloud for Europe, and Aerith or Ares for Japan. All of these minions will be purchasable on the Mog Station during each of the FanFest dates actually taking place, if you haven't got tickets already. During FanFest, you will exclusively be able to fight against Yojimbo in a special fight arena instance. This apparently will be added to the game for everyone at a later date, so that's pretty hype. And they cover some merchandise and more FanFest details with the live stream, but then something interesting, a new hairstyle, this sort of cloud hairstyle. This will be a new reward for people who enter and presumably win various contests, like the FanFest art contest, with no news of it being available elsewhere at this point. So I guess we've got to start entering those contests. And that just about wraps up the main details of this live letter. There will likely be no real news at the Tokyo Game Show, as the Las Vegas FanFest will be where the next major news apparently will come from, as well as constant developer blog entries throughout the month. Either way, hopefully this sheds some light on what's to come in 4.4, and I'll see you all next time.